everybody, it's Kim Odakoven, KRO Designs here on YouTube, and of course I'm on Instagram. You can follow me over there. We're going to talk about my setup for my vacation planner. This is for an upcoming spring break trip to Arizona and tertiary areas like Las Vegas and also Grand Canyon and Hoover Dam. And I wanted to walk you through on how I did it, including process video and obviously this flip through. So in the beginning of this Foxy Fix standard notebook, I do have adhesive pockets in the front and the back, and I do house my travel stickers, which I will be using like a muted earth tones composition for the entire before and after. That way everything looks cohesive. Of course, you do see some pops of red, which are okay. They're not just a crazy red. But I also enjoy using Florence's travel stickers. She does a great job at that. And I love using little small clear stickers as well. This has a great variety on it, and it goes with my outdoor woodland theme for the planner as well. I've got some freckled fun sticky notes just here on the front, just a few, just in case I need to jot something down real quick. And this is my dashboard insert I have for the front page, and enjoy the process of how I set this up. So this dashboard started off with a Google Maps of our destination from our beginning, our arrival in Las Vegas, and I did it on cardstock so it would be a little bit more sturdy. Then I went ahead and printed out one of the Google Images is a great place to look, and that's where I found this. It's just a vintage postcard looking thing, and I just printed it off onto cardstock as well. And then I added a couple freckled fun label stickers, as well as some simple stories, chipboard pieces, and a cork piece from Pink Paisley. Then I went and got my Kelly Perky and Everyday Explorer stamps, and I went to town. I thought that space in the middle needed a little bit more extra fun, so that's what I did there. And I wanted that Go flag to be. Thanks for enjoying the process video. I hope you guys liked it. On the back side, I just have some pattern paper, and this wood veneer adventure is from a Studio Calico kit from a while ago. I'm trying to make everything in here as usable as possible. I can just take this out and use it in my memory keeping in the back notebook whenever I want, along with these travel stickers. So let's talk about the sticky note that I ripped off and now I'm going to put back on. So I'm trying to utilize as much time as possible. We would like to see Hoover Dam and the entire Grand Canyon and make it to Flagstaff starting in Las Vegas that morning, and which is a long haul as it is, just to get your sightseeing done. But we'd love to picnic and get a few things at the store. Now, to save time, instead of walking through an entire Walmart, I decided to utilize their online grocery pickup. Unfortunately, necessarily, they don't have the fresh goods to pick up. So while one person is going to the online ordering pickup place, one person will be picking up some of the perishable items, which are on this side with the check marks. And I love this Studio Calico side sticky note thing where it has these squares on both sides. So this is the online order that I've already actually put in, and obviously it's waiting for me once I get to Kingman, Arizona. But if I remember anything else, I can just go ahead and jot it down on this list, and then when I go inside I can just take this sticky note off and go and pick it up. I'll be writing my confirmation number on the bottom as well. These are sticky notes that I got from Allie Edwards story kits a long time ago. I thought those would look great here on this travel journal folder. So this is just a whole bunch of washi tape, some stickers, and a stamp. I did also a process video on how I made this folder, and I'll just go ahead and link that right now as well. I wish I could give you the measurements for this folder, but I really just winged it. I've never made one of these before, but I really know that it needed to be 4.25 inches wide times 2, and I used my bone folder to kind of make a crease. And then I just tucked up. What's not on the process video is obviously I just did a few little decorations here, and these are also usable in the memory keeping as well as decoration right now. And I'm slightly obsessed with these wonderful low profile paper clips from Studio Calico as well. They have numbers on the top, but I really think they're going to be fantastic for keeping things in check. Obviously, I have a whole bunch of printouts. As you can see, each one of them is a reservation or it's not a map. They're all just reservation confirmations. And eventually I'm going to go ahead and write on the top part of this paper what day it's for, just writing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because all of these papers already are confusing me and I don't have a way to organize them. So that's next on my list. This is just the back side, and I don't mind using cork stickers with dimension. I just needed to add some decoration. I also used craft paper just in case I needed to jot something down really quick. I've got lots of space to do that. Here's the back side of that dashboard insert cover. This is just, again, a more journal cards from Studio Calico. And this is Allie Edwards, and she has these story sparks, and I thought the road trip one looked appropriate. She also had one that had a Monday through Sunday. I'm sure it was a week in the life kind of deal, but I thought it would be a fantastic reference. So instead of flipping through and remembering what we're doing on each specific day, I wanted to write them down here. For the cover of my 2 inserts, what I've decided to do is pick 2 of my favorite travel pictures of my kids that have the same earth tones. I could have picked, obviously, pictures of the Grand Canyon or a Phoenix or whatever, but I really enjoy these because they're my kids and they have the right colors, and they just, some of my favorite pictures ever. So that's my little Eli guy standing on the ready to jump in. In the beginning of this first insert, this is all pre-travel planning. I have an index right here. Obviously, that's why it says index, but I also have it broken down by day and a few other explanations of certain pages. This is one of those stickers from Florence. Isn't that adorable? I love that. All right, the first picture here, the first pages here, is the monthly calendar. I just wanted to lay it out real quick and easy for when we leave, when my son actually goes. We're going to Phoenix to watch him play baseball, which is the entire purpose. So I wanted to make sure I have those games noted here. And then his flight information from Cleveland to Phoenix, since he'll be traveling with the team and we're traveling by ourselves. Here is the packing list that I already have started. As you can see, it's with different handwriting and different pens, but as soon as I think of something I need to pack, I'm just going to jot it there, and tomorrow we're going to start packing and I can start checking stuff off the list. And of course, I've got an extra page because you never know how much you're actually going to need. Here is Monday and Tuesday on 2 facing pages. Now, as I was putting this together, I actually thought about a different way to do it. The way I have done it is broken each day down by the event that's happening, but I also thought it would be fantastic if I was going to a destination where I didn't know where I would be on certain days. I would just go ahead and do research on each attraction and then put a schedule through it for each attraction. So instead of it being Monday, it would be Hoover Dam, and it would be all about Hoover Dam. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So on the top here, obviously I have the day of the week. This is when we fly out, our confirmation numbers, when we're arriving. I also did do some research on where to park in Pittsburgh. We don't normally park or fly out of Pittsburgh. We're usually a Cleveland family. But you also would be a great idea for me because I'm trying to do this on an extra super duper small budget. So I wanted to see where the cheapest parking was going to be, and so I noted that there. The only thing I didn't do is put the address, but it's actually on site was the cheapest. Actually, at the airport was the cheapest versus the off-site. So that's why I picked the extended economy parking. Obviously, we need a rental car, so I've got the reservation there, and then our hotel reservation for day 1. Now we've moved on to Tuesday, which is obviously the 3rd, and I have on the top of each of the days the breakdown of each day. I do this in my normal planning, say I have an appointment or things that are mandatory to get done. I always put that at the top of the day. That way I've got a great overview of what I'm doing. And then I just put a washi strip to kind of divide the two. But on each attraction, let's say Hoover Dam for instance, I always put the admission fee, and I also put the time of day that it's open. And these pictures are just from Wikipedia Commons or just Google searching. I just typed in Hoover Dam, found a couple pictures that I enjoyed looking at, the power plant part and then the overview of the entire area. and I just printed them off on a regular piece of paper and glue sticked them down. It gives me a visual of what I'm doing and what I'm looking for, plus it's really pretty cute. I did find a website that detailed where to park, where to drive, what things look like when you get to Hoover Dam. And so I noted that here on this piece of paper. It's just a printout of the screenshot of the website. And then I just added some stamp here on the side for decoration. Again, the same thing here with the Grand Canyon, which we'll be doing the same day. I have my little cars and on the road again to the Grand Canyon. These, I believe, this one is from Studio Calico along with the cars. And this one here is a tag label from, it's a stamp from Christine Heron, who does Everyday Explorer. She has by far the best travel stamps that I've ever come across. I love them to death. And along with the Hoover Dam, I did go ahead and put down a history of the Grand Canyon. I did research via online, and I also used the old school books. And what I did was just read the book and wrote stuff down. And the reason I did that, and of course I could have read a brochure or my phone off to the kids while we're driving from place to place, but I don't know if you've ever been in rural Arizona. There isn't much cell phone service, so I wanted to make sure I had something to read to them in the car as we're moving forward. I went to the government website for the national parks, and I did print out and minimized, of course, the South Rim, which is where we're going. The North Rim is closed at this point. I don't think we would have had time anyway. But I went ahead and made notations. I did get a book from the library that was traveling the national parks with your kids, and it had some really good suggestions on hikings. We have 4 kids. 2 of them are older and 2 are quite young, between 7 and 5. And so their hiking skills are not obviously backpacker worthy. So we picked out some hiking trails that would work in our time frame and also with the kids' abilities. So that was noted up here, along with, of course, admission prices. And they do have a tram, so I have the tram stops, and it's noted along here, just in case if one person wanted to drive the car forward and the other people wanted to take a little hike and walk a little ways and then take the tram, and that would work fine. I did print out from the same book this kind of ecological layering, the Paleolithic and the whatever thing for the layers of the Grand Canyon. I have one son who would actually be interested in this, and my husband is an old ecologist. Well, he's not old, but he's an ecologist at some point back in his heyday. So I thought he would enjoy looking at the layers. So I just went ahead and photocopied that. And again, I have more history and another picture that I found online. And here again is the same postcard as previously on that front dashboard. I did leave some space because between the Grand Canyon and Flagstaff, who knows where we're going to stop, so I decided to just leave some blank space. And of course, still need to make a hotel reservation there, so I've left that blank. On to Wednesday, same thing. That was the whole process here. I've got the day of the week and also the highlights of each day, and that was that page. Here we have the hotel reservation when we finally arrive in Phoenix. I've got that up here, and of course I've got the Phoenix Zoo, and I did print out a couple pictures of my son playing baseball in Phoenix last year. We weren't able to go, but I'm excited about going this year. But I have this packing list because if you've ever been to a sporting event for your kids, with your kids, you know that you need coolers and suntan lotion and baseball hats, so I left some space open here, so when the night before our first game, I can go ahead and jot down and make sure I get those things packed and ready to go. Here is the zoo map. I didn't have room, obviously, to put it here, so I just said see map next, and the kids will get a good kick out of it when they're in the car looking and wondering, hey, which way should we go, or what we're doing. I think the kids would really enjoy looking in here at this. And I don't care if my kids are looking at this or in here. This is for everybody to use and enjoy, not just for me. Again, I've got Friday. I have the map of the botanical garden, pictures of my Tyler getting ready to play. And of course, I have little notations here. So the Science Center has a Groupon right now. That's $65 for a family of 4. I know a lot of the time, for at least us, because we're a larger family, a lot of the times you can find Groupons for families of 4 or more, and it's a huge savings. The other thing that we like to do as far as research goes is, and this is this Desert Botanical Garden is a great example. I went ahead and joined the National Horticultural Society because it has a reciprocity program where if you become a member, you can go to other botanical gardens or gardening centers and gardens around where you live or else where you travel. And I looked at the price of an inclusion for a family of us, and it was the same price to buy a membership as it was for admittance for just one day. And I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and get the NHS membership because I can go ahead and use that elsewhere. So that's just one of those travel tips that we use a lot. It doesn't always work on every place, but it works well for us. And of course, with the zoo, this zoo has reciprocity with our zoo, but the prices are half off, which is a huge savings compared to $50 a day elsewhere. All right, so Saturday, again, has a very short day. We're just going to a couple games, and then we're leaving on a red-eye. I am staying at a hotel that does have a kitchen, so I will be providing lunches and dinners for most of my family all the time. That really does save a lot, especially when you're doing a family of 5 or 6, as we will be. You'll be saving a ton of money if you pack your own lunches and you do dinner on the cheap, where you can actually get a full size, like a Stouffer's lasagna for $12, $13, and that is a huge savings for us. Throw in a bag of garlic bread and pick up a bag salad, and you have a whole meal covered for less than $20 for 6 people. And there's no leftovers, at least for us. I did add some sticky notes here on the bottom corner, just in case I needed to pick up anything on the way to Walmart or the grocery store around where a hotel is. And this is kind of my version of a countdown. I did every day of the week between now and when we leave, I decided to do like a forecast check. If you've ever lived in the Northeast, you'll know that winters tend to be quite long, and I'm very much looking forward to the warm weather. So I have the day of the week, the second, where we're going to be, and then the projected highs and lows for each day, along with sunny or warm or partly cloudy, that sort of thing. And so I'll be filling this in kind of an everyday thing, just because I'm really anxious to be warm again. Here again is reality hits. Yes, it stinks, but reality comes, and I'll need to know what to do when I get home besides laundry. So I wanted to make sure I had one planning page in here, so on my way home I can actually organize my thoughts and get everything on paper. Here is the nifty-difty budget page. So I have this broken down into 3 sections: pre-purchase, which obviously is the flight, the car, and any hotels that we know we have a final exact number for. And these expected purchases are things like bag fees that I haven't paid for, nights in hotels I haven't paid for, admissions to attractions, what I'm spending on groceries, things like that. And of course, admission to all the games. I did all the math, and it's $82 to get all 5 of us into all of the games for Tyler. So I wanted to make sure I budgeted for that. And then here I have on a 2-column page, this will be just those Starbucks runs or my grocery runs, things that I don't have accounted for here, and then eventually I'll tally it all together. That way it gives me a good jumping off point on how to budget for next vacation. So the restaurants, which we won't be going out to a lot, but just in case there's a restaurant, we want some quick Mexican, I did a little research on places to go during our trip. And then the next page here I have as other attractions, just because the way I've set this up, I know I'll be going to those attractions on certain days, but if I happen to be near Biggie Higgins' headquarters, I might go drop by in and say howdy, if it's not a weekend day, of course. But these are the other attractions that you might go to here and there between things, if you've got the time. Of course, as I'm researching things, I come up with thoughts in my brain, of course, on how I want to move forward with the next research projects. So I have a sticky note here with research to-dos. Of course, I won't need that permanently later on. And this back page here is this pack notebook right here is absolutely vacant. This will be where I'll be doing all of my memory keeping. And in this back pocket, I went ahead and pre-cut some mixed media paper, and I will be bringing my watercolors. And so when I get to the botanical gardens or the zoo or feel inspired, I can go ahead and color on those instead of the paper in the notebook. And then of course I have my obsessive sticky notes also here as well. All right, I hope you guys enjoy it. Stay tuned. Soon I'll be uploading the finished one of me when I get back, and I can see all of my memory keeping and how it held up. Thanks for joining. Bye.